In today's data-driven world, understanding the bigger picture is crucial. It's not enough to simply manage data. We must anticipate the forces that shape its value and security. This is where PESTLE analysis comes in. It is a powerful strategic framework used by organizations to scan their external macro environment. PESTLE is an acronym standing for political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors. Each of these elements represents a category of external forces that can have a profound impact on how we collect, store, manage, and utilize our most valuable asset, data. For data professionals and students alike, mastering this tool provides a significant competitive edge. Think of PESTLE analysis as a compass for your data strategy. It helps you navigate the complex landscape beyond your organization's immediate control. Instead of reacting to changes as they happen, this framework allows you to be proactive. It encourages you to ask critical questions about the future. For example, how might a new government policy affect your data storage? How could economic shifts influence your investment in database technology? By systematically considering these external pressures, you can build more resilient database systems that are prepared for what lies ahead, rather than being caught off guard. The beauty of PESTLE lies in its simplicity and comprehensiveness. It breaks down the vast, chaotic external world into 6 manageable categories. This structured approach prevents strategic blind spots, ensuring you don't overlook critical areas of risk or opportunity. For anyone working with databases, this method moves the conversation from technical specifications to strategic business alignment. It elevates the role of data management from a back-office function to organizational strategy, ensuring database decisions are made with full awareness of the wider business context. This strategic foresight is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. In an era defined by digital transformation, the forces impacting our data are more dynamic than ever. A political decision made thousands of miles away can have immediate consequences for your databases. A social trend on a new platform can create entirely new data sources and challenges. PESTLE provides the framework to identify these trends early, assess their potential impact on your data infrastructure, and devise strategies to mitigate risks while capitalizing on emerging opportunities. It is the first step toward building a truly intelligent data strategy. Political factors are a significant force. These include government policies, political stability, trade tariffs, and data sovereignty laws. For databases, this is incredibly important. A government might mandate that all citizen data must be stored on servers within its national borders. This directly impacts decisions about cloud providers and data center locations. Think about the US Cloud Act or China's cybersecurity law. These political and legislative instruments dictate how and where data can be stored and accessed, creating complex compliance challenges for global companies. Political instability in a region could also pose a physical risk to data centers, forcing businesses to reconsider their disaster recovery and data redundancy strategies. Economic factors also play a critical role. The state of the economy, be it a recession or a boom, directly influences database investment. During an economic downturn, budgets for new database technologies, hardware upgrades, or expensive licensing agreements might be slashed. Companies may be pressured to move towards more cost-effective open-source databases like PostgreSQL or MySQL, or optimize existing systems instead of purchasing new ones. Conversely, in a thriving economy, organizations are more likely to invest heavily in advanced data warehousing solutions, analytics platforms, and high-performance databases to gain a competitive edge. Currency fluctuations can also affect the cost of services from international cloud providers like AWS or Azure. Social factors are about people and society. These include changing demographics, consumer attitudes, cultural trends, and ethical expectations regarding data privacy. The Cambridge Analytica scandal, for instance, dramatically shifted public opinion on how personal data is used. This social backlash led to increased scrutiny and demand for greater transparency from users. For databases, this means designing systems with privacy at their core, a concept known as privacy by design. Social trends, like the explosion of social media platforms, also generate massive volumes of unstructured data such as likes, comments, images, requiring databases capable of handling this variety and velocity, such as NoSQL databases like MongoDB. Finally, we have technological factors, which are perhaps the most obvious influence on databases. The constant evolution of technology brings both opportunities and challenges. The rise of cloud computing has revolutionized database deployment, offering scalability and flexibility. Innovations like AI and machine learning demand databases that can efficiently support complex queries and data processing for model training. The development of new database types, such as graph databases for relationship-heavy data or time series databases for IoT sensor data, provides new tools to solve specific problems. Staying current with these technological shifts is essential for maintaining a modern, efficient, and competitive data infrastructure. Let's look at the legal and environmental factors through real-world examples. Legal factors encompass laws and regulations that govern data. The most prominent example is the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. This law has had a massive impact on databases worldwide, not just in Europe. It mandates strict rules for handling personal data, including the right to be forgotten, which requires databases to be designed to easily locate and delete an individual's data upon request. In the healthcare industry, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA, in the US, sets stringent standards for protecting sensitive patient health information, directly influencing database security, access controls, and audit logging. Environmental factors are also becoming increasingly relevant. These relate to the physical environment and sustainability concerns. Data centers, which house thousands of servers running databases, are enormous consumers of electricity and water for cooling. There is growing pressure from governments, investors, and consumers for companies to adopt green IT practices. This influences decisions on data center location, like choosing regions with access to renewable energy, and technology choices, such as using energy-efficient hardware. Some companies are even exploring innovative solutions like underwater data centers to reduce cooling costs and environmental impact. A clear example of environmental factors driving database infrastructure strategy. To navigate these complex legal and governance landscapes, organizations rely on specific tools. Data governance tools like Collabra and Alation help create a centralized catalog of all data assets. They define data ownership, track data lineage, where data comes from and how it changes, and document business rules. This is crucial for proving compliance with regulations like GDPR. For security and compliance, tools like Imperva or Guardium provide database activity monitoring. They can detect and alert on suspicious activities, control access to sensitive data, and generate audit reports required by regulators. These tools are no longer optional, but essential for modern data management. Putting it all together, a financial services company might use Pestle to analyze its database strategy. Politically, it must monitor international data transfer agreements. Economically, it evaluates the cost-benefit of on-premise versus cloud databases. Socially, it considers customer trust and demand for transparent data usage. Technologically, it explores AI for fraud detection, requiring high-performance databases. Legally, it implements robust controls to comply with financial regulations. Environmentally, it reports on the carbon footprint of its data centers. This holistic view ensures the company's data strategy is resilient and aligned with external realities. In summary, the strategic value of applying Pestle analysis to databases cannot be overstated. It transforms database management from a reactive technical task into a proactive strategic discipline. By systematically scanning the political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental landscapes, organizations gain critical foresight. This foresight enables them to anticipate potential disruptions before they occur. Whether it's a new data privacy law that requires system redesigns or an economic shift that necessitates a move to more cost-effective solutions, it helps build resilience directly into the data infrastructure, making it adaptable to change rather than brittle and fragile. Furthermore, Pestle analysis fosters better alignment between the IT department and the broader business strategy. When database architects can articulate how a new data sovereignty law, political, or a consumer privacy trend, social, impacts the business's bottom line, their recommendations carry more weight. This framework provides a common language for discussing risks and opportunities, bridging the gap between technical teams and executive leadership. It ensures that investments in database technology are not made in a vacuum, but are directly tied to mitigating external threats and capitalizing on emerging trends, ultimately driving greater business value from data assets. This comprehensive approach also strengthens data governance and compliance efforts. By identifying legal and regulatory requirements early on, organizations can design their databases and data processes with compliance built in from the start. This is far more effective and less costly than trying to retrofit systems to meet new rules after the fact. Understanding the social and ethical context also guides the development of responsible data handling practices, which builds customer trust, a priceless asset in the digital economy. A PESTLE-informed strategy ensures that the organization is not just compliant by law, but is also acting as a responsible steward of data. Ultimately, using PESTLE analysis for database strategy is about future-proofing your organization's most critical asset. The world will only become more complex, and the external forces impacting data will continue to grow in number and intensity. By adopting this structured, outward-looking perspective, you empower your organization to navigate uncertainty with confidence. It allows you to build a database ecosystem that is not only powerful and efficient today, but also agile and prepared for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. I hope this overview has been useful. What are your thoughts? Have you used PESTLE for your data strategy? Please share your experiences in the comments below.